Ladies and gentlemen, from my perspective, I have to say this for redundancy because it's important. So the more people that know this, the better. So in this incorporated city, which acts like an incubator, you have the psyche types of females that want to, how you say, they are in conflict or they're trying to keep up with the Joneses, for example. So let's say they have a lot of kids, and then they always have them working out. They have them trying to be like super soldiers or whatever, right? And then they fight amongst each other. And they're saying, Joey, why aren't you working out? Why aren't you, this is it, like they're trying to make you run off of that cliff. So what needs to be known is that if you have a lot of children and all they do is work out, and you don't pay attention to the foundation that they're growing in of a genuine education, and you think that it's all about violence and fighting, what you are doing is you're basically creating slaves. You're creating people that have to work a job to make money because they didn't get a genuine education. So think about it like in the Egyptian days. All the slaves were all buff. Well, maybe not buff, but they were strong, but something was limiting them from, well, they just didn't have a genuine education, ladies and gentlemen, and that is a human phenomenon. So for these people that are raising their kids to fight or to just always work out, you need to make sure that you have a foundation of a genuine education. So for example, John F. Kennedy, when in his high school, as far as I know from past videos I've seen of the past, they were all working out because they had a genuine education. They had that first. They didn't work out first and get buff first, okay? And a lot of people are getting buff first, and then they're thinking, oh yeah, they're gonna catch me, or they're gonna catch my mind later. And that's not right, guys. That's like cheating on your test. That's like copying other people's work. And that's costing us our lives. The people that don't work out, the people that have to work a job, and we're just trying to survive. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you have to think about that. You have to think that you're leaving behind lineages of people that do nothing but work out, and they're living off of the backs of the thinking power of us, people that actually have wisdom, like actually done it, and can't work out. I would like to be working out right now and have the ability to take in that endorphins, but that's too much, ladies and gentlemen. That's a luxury I don't have right now. And other people are working out, getting fit, getting healthy, and then taking my mind, and then they're going to be using ChatGPT to say, okay, what would Joey say about this or that? And then they're going to say, okay, how long in the future will this carry me? And yeah, that's where they're going to find out that they lost. So, ladies and gentlemen, the factors that fuel in my environment is that there are people that have their children having sex with older women, like in their 60s or 50s. And these are kids, like, as soon as they're like, guys, they have no morals, they have no values. You need to understand this. And that's both on the black, white, brown. This can happen to any people, you see. And if all they do is work out and all they want to do is just fall back on the foundation that we built, they cannot expect anything good, because that's not up to us. That's not up to me. If something happens to you guys, that's not up to us. That happens without that's why we believe in God, guys, and we pray for the best. Because there is such thing as universal code and natural order that people are ignoring. They think they could just have a kid in America and then just work out and then reproduce. That's going to come back to bite you in the butt later, because you need to have that foundation. You need to know where you're going, who you are, and where you have been, and know when people are using that against you. So people will hurt your family just so that way you can retaliate. That way you can retaliate, and then they know what to expect. And then from there, it's like a bouncing back and forth. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was born in 1994 in this real estate development since 1996. Genuine education, foundation of my parents, and Raymond Case Elementary up until the 2nd grade. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the thing. That's where that education was lost. And one of the lies is that we die. You know, like, for example, like my uncle, you know, he passed away, and we're gonna bury him and then have a funeral and stuff. But the lie is that that person has gone. You know, the lie is that that person no longer exists. When the truth is that he lives through us. And there are not just people, but whole systems and programs that people are in that are designed to make people forget their relatives, make people forget their history, you see? Or forget everything that humanity has been through as a whole. So guys, this is just some of my reflections. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it very much. If you can, donate to my Patreon. Because this is like almost like a full-time thing for me. And I can help people that need to work a job. Because you need to understand that part of work is to keep you away from extreme evil. Because if we didn't have that, we would fall right into the death spiral. So guys, again, thank you for listening. Thank you very much.